very special surprise for you tonight. Tan, I just want to say these are just a few of the people who have taken the leap of faith and said, you know what? I'm going to be a VIP. I want to master my millionaire mind. I want to change my life. I want a system to help me to be successful. Blown me away with his wealth of knowledge and, being instrumental in bringing videos to phones. Like when you guys watch videos on phones, he's one of the first people to bring that to America. Does large corporate deals. His incredible story we'll share with you guys later of his history coming to America with nothing and building just an incredible business and making all kinds of great connections. We were lucky and fortunate to get connected by a friend of ours. Since we did this, he heard my mission of wanting to help 1 million families get out of debt. And he said, Steve, I want to be a part of that mission. And how many of you, show of hands, want to be a part of the mission? 1 million families out of debt. Tan, how are you doing tonight, my friend? It's good to see you.
I'm well. I also would love to take this moment to congratulate everyone for taking risks, calculated risks, not careless risks. But, the mindset that we all seek to be successful requires us to become best friends with risk and know how to manage that. Now, and I say this with an incredible amount of respect for anyone that's willing to take that step forward. It's not easy. Everything in our DNA pushes against risk. It pushes against fear. But on the other side of risk is the success that we all seek. And that's the barrier. So the first step of taking that leap of faith and wanting to be part of the VIP group, I think is telling of how committed you are to your personal growth. And so my first statement before anything is congratulations on taking that step.
Wonderful. And we appreciate that. I agree, everybody. You're never going to meet a wealthy person who doesn't take risks, but they don't take blind risks. They take, as Tan said, calculated risks, right? And, with us here, you're looking at a company that's been around for almost 2 decades. And, very happy to say we've integrated with platforms that have literally helped people save hundreds of millions of dollars, whether it be on shopping or travel. I mean, these platforms are incredible. We have people every day, say, I just saved 1,000 on car insurance. I just saved 500. I just saved 2,000. People every day saving, I just saved $500 on a trip. And now with this VIP and all the value we've put in here, many of you are going to start to take these vacations where you're going to get like a $2,000 vacation for $300, right? And I want you to do videos of that and send it. And then, of course, as many of you as possible, we want to see you in May on our leadership cruise that we're going to have, our first My Millionaire Mastery leadership cruise. As a VIP, and like I said, we're only taking 100 VIPs, having small group meetings, so that we can actually interact. Also, you can have personal onboarding meeting with Omar Garcia, our Director of International Business. And we're going to be communicating, working together as a family. One of the greatest things that happened through this is our entrance into this blockchain technology, which is the biggest banks, BlackRock, the biggest companies, that's where they're focusing. And Tan, you said something on the last call when you were on, said, I don't look at coins. I look at something bigger, that everybody wants you to look over here while they're doing this over there, right? But we want to open up the truth. And I think that you're a really good person to disseminate truth in a way that people can understand. And so my hope for this is that we can get into a little bit of, well, what is the blockchain? What are nodes? Why is it good to have a node? And I even have a song about that too, by the way. That it creates the trust. It's the trust. And then what is the coin going to do? This is even way bigger than Savings Highway and My Millionaire Mastery. This is expanding to a large global solution of us creating our own economy, right? So you got to really open your mind. I want everybody to just put your hands up, take a deep breath, and say, my mind is open.
My mind is open.
It's like a parachute, only works when it's open. Okay. So open your mind. Don't say, well, I think this or I don't think that. Just listen to what this information he brings to you tonight, and let it permeate your cells, because you have to understand this is the new technology. This is where the world is moving, and you can be at the forefront of it. You can be at the top of it. And congratulations to all of you who are VIPs. You are starting out with 3 nodes included. They're starting at $500 each. That's a $1,500 value. And when we started, signing up the VIPs, we didn't tell you that. We added it later, right? This is a bonus for you, but I want you to understand the power of it. And a lot of people are becoming VIPs right now, especially Tim Jones talks with a lot of people. And the reason they're doing it is, well, I want the savings, I want the vacations, I want the comp plan, but I also want the nodes. So Tan, take it away, my friend. Thank you so much.
So since we talk a lot about mindset, let me set a precedent in thinking a path that helps us understand why this next revolution of commerce, of finance, is so important to all of us, not just to governments, not just to corporations, not just to investors, but to everyday people. We, all of us, have lived through a number of revolutions. We have seen us go from phones that were tethered to our wall, a landline, to wireless technology, a phone you can take anywhere you go. We have seen the change of not sending letters, snail mail, which is what we endearingly call it today, to email, which is instant, right? We have watched a digital age emerge right before our eyes, where we have access to information through the internet. These are just some of the major transitions, major technology revolutions that we have already lived through. And each of those revolutions has had a profound impact on our lives. It has changed how we engage with the world, how we do things, how we shop, how we bank, how we watch TV. All of this has changed our behaviors greatly. And we didn't know it was coming when it did. So this is the first thing I want you to just put your mind around is you've lived through numerous technology revolutions. This is just the next one. But in this instance, you have an opportunity to participate in what it can do. When I built one of my first technologies to bring video and movies, TV to a mobile phone, it didn't exist. But I saw it. I saw the idea of, I bet you we can watch TV on more than just our TVs and at a movie theater. I bet you we can see all of that somewhere else. And before I knew it, I was able to project and distribute content on a mobile device. That is an example of being at the forefront of that revolution. And now everyone watches video on their phone. It is every day. I just happened to get in early enough with a technology and a vision with clear data that helped me benefit from this emerging technology. So going back to what I said earlier, we've lived through a number of revolutions. We have an opportunity to participate in the next one, just like I did with mobile video, and greatly benefit from it. Instead of being reactive to the change, and just kind of going along with it. We're going to participate in moving this technology along. That's what we're offering in this discussion. That's the framework, the thinking that I'm trying to present and paint for all of us. Okay, so you are currently sitting in a position where you get to participate in the next technology revolution, and this one happens to touch all of our wallets, how we bank, how we transact, how we buy anything in the future. You get to participate in how that grows through our blockchain and through nodes. Okay. So that's the first part is exciting. It's like, oh, this next revolution, I'm not going to wait for. I'm going to participate in. Okay. That's the first base. Now we're gonna turn to second base. Okay, we're running to second base. Second base is how. How does this whole thing work? Because I need calculated risk was a word we used earlier. Calculated to me is defined by data and by guidance from experts and by information as much as I can get so I can make a better decision, not a careless, throw it in the air, hope it works decision. I need people who know this. I need people I trust to explain this to me so that I can understand how it's supposed to work and decide based on this data that I can participate and I'm going to participate in this way. That's calculated because you have the right information. So let's start with the fundamentals of blockchain. A blockchain is a digital ledger. It's a record of an action, a transaction. But this ledger is monitored, managed, validated by tens of thousands of nodes. Sometimes you'll hear words like computers, right? It's a word that we used in the first generation of blockchain where you needed a physical terminal to do all of the management. So you literally had thousands of computers sitting around doing the calculations to manage the blockchain. And that may have been a word you've heard before called mining, as the actual terminal was managing that Bitcoin blockchain. Because it was doing work, it was earning a fraction of a coin. So that earning for doing something was called mining. Okay, that's first generation. So let's go back to the blockchain. It's a ledger with tens of thousands and sometimes millions of software nodes that says that one action is recorded across all those nodes. And because it does it that way, you can't change it unless you change all those records simultaneously. Now, in today's world, the record of you buying something is held usually by one entity, the bank or Visa or Target, right? It's that data is held in very few hands. So the problem that we have experienced in the commerce world for the last 25 years is every year there has been a larger number of data hacks because hackers know they only need to go to a few places. And I'm going to target those places. And next thing you know, I've got your information and I'm selling your information. So that ledger, that Target, Walmart, or Costco, or anyone held of your transaction was easy to go after because those hackers knew where to go. But now they have to go after tens of thousands of ledgers, millions of ledgers that said
At the same time, in the same millisecond, right?
at the same time, because if they go after one and changed one, the other 999,999 are saying that's not right. So it can't happen. So blockchain in the most basic description that I can tell anyone, is an unhackable record of financial activity. In fact, or any activity, but for this conversation, let's keep it with just a financial activity, a transaction, a settlement, a purchase, right? Person one purchased item A, and that record exists now in thousands of nodes managing a blockchain simultaneously. You're not going to hack it. That's why the finance world and regulators and now even governments are really pressing forward with legislation, with policies, and with their own utilization plans for a blockchain, because they don't want any more hackers. They don't want these records to be exposed. They want an immutable, meaning you cannot change this record of that event that cannot be hacked. And that creates security and trust, right? It's logical. So that's blockchain 101. Now we step from understanding the foundation of this being the blockchain, all these records are being held here, to the actual software that's managing the blockchain. So in this generation, the one that we're stepping into, as I said earlier, it's not a physical terminal anymore. You still call it a node, but this time it's purely software. And why this is important is because you can buy licenses to software at a fraction of the cost of buying 1,000, 5,000, 10,000 actual physical computers, terminals that has to run software in its hard drive to do it like the Bitcoin first generation world, okay? This generation, the second generation of blockchain, has become more efficient. And with every technology that has ever been released, everything gets more efficient, which means it gets less expensive, but also doesn't change the amount of returns it gets, because the more efficient it is, the less cost to get more returns. The math of that in the business world is ideal. So now I can purchase a node, and that node acts as a verifier, a manager, a validator of that blockchain, of the records, of the activities that exist on that blockchain. And when my node is actively doing that, just like the first generation terminals, when it's doing what it's supposed to do, it's earning a token. It's earning a token that was created or exists for that particular blockchain. Okay, so now you know you're rounding second base. You already understand blockchain. Now you understand the function of a node. Okay, you understand that a node will generate a reward because it's doing what it's supposed to do. It's supposed to validate, manage, verify everything that's happening, keep at record, right? And as it's doing that, the blockchain is saying, thank you for doing that work. Here's a token. Thank you. And it does it every hour, every day, every week, every month. Software doesn't go to sleep. That's the other great thing about this. It doesn't go to sleep. It's working for you 24 hours a day, generating a token from the activity that it is built to do. Okay. So at this point, you're probably getting just as excited as you're seeing third base as any player would. I'm like, I'm heading to third. Here we go.
Let's go.
I understand blockchain. I know what my node is doing, and I know the rewards I'm getting for my node as it's active, right? I'm rounding second. I see third. I know what third means. Third means I am close to home base. Okay. So now we're rounding second. We're heading to third. And third base is the token. Third base is the coin. It is the mechanism that is recorded, that is rewarded, that is used And in our world, I'm going to make this statement. It's going to sound a little bit complicated, but I'll explain it in a bit. The future of blockchain is a utility coin. Okay, and I know that that doesn't make sense right now, but I'll explain it. Just remember this phrase: the future of blockchain is a utility coin. Okay, the current understanding of a coin is what we call stored value or store of value. And the greatest example of that is a Bitcoin. If you were fortunate to buy it when it was just a couple dollars and now it's $100,000, that's stored value. That means as long as you didn't sell it, you just watch that value increase. Okay. Stored value, it has its purpose in this next economy. Stored value, like a Bitcoin, helps us establish in the world of commerce, of transactions, a rail, meaning we have a way of actually settling a uh, a purchase, settling a debt. Like I owe you this money for this thing. I settle it with you, and I usually use a rail that everyone knows is I use my credit card. I use my debit card. So the Bitcoin in the cryptocurrency world creates an opportunity to create a new rail for cryptocurrency. It's like, oh, this thing has value. You can actually establish a rail with this. Now, so stay with me. While that's nice, what's going to happen here in this rail is stable coins. And you may have heard this in the news a lot. A stable coin is basically a coin that's going to be backed by a government's currency or treasury. In the United States, our stable coin is going to be backed by a dollar. No matter what happens, it will be stable, hence the word stable coin. And it will be backed by our treasuries. Hence, it will never go below a dollar in value. Whereas Bitcoin does this, but it nets out up here because it was part of this whole dynamic, unique, never to be ever happen again kind of scenario. But it opened the door to saying that digital currency is real. So imagine as you're heading to third base, you know the basics, the fundamentals, you know what a blockchain is, you know what your nodes are doing, you know your rewards includes tokens and coins that exist on this blockchain. Utility is the future, meaning you can have a stable coin, which will always stay this amount, become a rail because it's stable. When it's backed by the dollar and treasuries, you trust it. Governments trust it. Everyone trusts it. They will accept it as a means, right? So here's how utility plays in to make blockchain greater. Utility is purpose. Coins that have purpose, coins that have intrinsic value and are utilized, hence the word utility, will create its own value within its blockchain. When that value increases, you can. So let me say that I am not a financial advisor. I'm simply describing a scenario that I am seeing. Okay. When the value that's being created by the utility of that coin increases and increases, and the blockchain that that coin exists in continues to stimulate and nurture its growth, we can take coins in this new world and exchange them outside of our blockchain. We can go to exchanges and say, oh, I've earned all these coins. I want to exchange them for all these stable coins. I want to exchange them for all of these Bitcoins, and allows you to continue that journey of participating in a world where cryptocurrency becomes a very real method for you to settle debts, transact, and purchase. And the volume of coins earned inside of a blockchain that has utility that's being rewarded by node owners, right? You can take those things, continue to use them within this environment, within this blockchain, within this group, and continue to let it grow. And then when needed, you can, on your own, I can't tell you what to do with it, but on your own, you can explore what that means to you and your finances outside of this blockchain into exchanges, which gives you the opportunity to maximize your participation, maximize your rewards. So now you've rounded third. You own tokens and you own coins from a blockchain that you've participated in because you are a node owner and it was rewarding you on a blockchain that's secure, and you're heading home. As you're heading home, you're excited. And the reason why you're excited is because you've realized that you are participating in a new world economy that you thought may have been out of your reach. It's scary. There is not a single person that can promise you anything that will happen because we aren't fortune tellers. We don't know what the future will actually be. We can only decipher it based on the data that we have, based on calculated knowledge, right? We know that there are policies driving cryptocurrency into the mainstream. This is no longer a fringe conversation. This is no longer a what if conversation. This is now a conversation of when. And there are the most recent policy that has gained enormous amount of attention is the Genius Act that was recently signed in. That's a policy that stabilizes a stable coin, that sets stable coins into a very real world scenario. And it's going to be followed by more legislation that allows investment portfolios and everyone to now participate in a way where it's a lot safer. Because remember, policy is designed to protect from volatility. And that's why it took our government a long time to really get their heads around this. All those years while Bitcoin was doing this, no one understood it in our government. No one understood it completely, even in our financial industry. It took everyone a long time to figure out how it should be regulated. How do we protect people if they're going to participate in this economy? And that's happening. So all of this stuff is right in front of you. It's right there in front of you as you're heading home. And you are excited because you can see that there's enormous upside and potential for your participation in a financial technology that is inevitable, and you're getting guidance and data from a trusted source. And continue to listen to the data, continue to research, and continue to seek information about the advancements in policies and the discussions on how blockchain is being utilized, because you're going to discover that this is a sidebar, not to get you off track because you're still heading home, okay? We are currently in a world where all the financial institutions are going to tokenize all their assets. They're bringing all of their assets into the blockchain. You can read this, you can research it, Google it, and I encourage you to. Google tokenizing assets, and you're going to see stories about Citibank, Bank of America, JP Morgan, BlackRock, on and on and on. Everyone is currently in the process of preparing to take all those assets, bonds, stocks, treasury, all those assets that they manage for people, and they're going to put them on the blockchain. Why? First base, secure, trust. They're going to tokenize it, meaning they're going to allow more people to invest in these assets that weren't available to them because you would have to have a minimum, wealth of X or a minimum spend. But now you can buy fractions of all these assets that weren't available to you before, right? That you're rounding second. You're rounding because again, if you can purchase that token to have a fractional ownership of some enormous investment, BlackRock is going to make that available once they tokenize assets. So this is that vision you're seeing when you're rounding third. Not your participation here is setting you up to walk into the rest of this new digital tokenized world that you can participate in, that you can extend your tokens into. So that's what I'm seeing as you're heading home. Now, are you gonna have to slide home and knock out the catcher? I don't know yet. I just know you're heading home. I know that you're heading home and you've got that you're beating out that throw. I don't think you're gonna be out at the end of this. You're heading home and you're actually not even gonna have to slide. You're gonna be standing up running across that home plate. So I hope that was helpful in giving you a fundamental understanding of the infrastructure of a blockchain, what it means to you now that you're a VIP member with a node, and how you can start to maximize your participation. There's going to be, and we're going to work really hard to make sure that we communicate frequently and effectively. I don't like to use a lot of big words because I start getting confused. I like to try to make it fundamentally understood. I want to be able to tell my daughter, who's 11, how this works, and she's like, "Okay, Dad, I get it." And if I can do that, then I'm on the right path of educating others. So I hope that was a long way to answer your first question.
No. It's good. I loved using the baseball analogy because, that gives us something to peg to, right? And so everybody, I'm sure, learned something. Whether you understood all of it so far or not, at least you have an understanding. There's the blockchain. This is a secure thing because of the nodes. You have the nodes. You are doing activities to make that whole thing secure, and you're getting rewarded for it. And then you have the coins. So this is where I want to go to the next part, Tan, is with our coin, and we haven't announced the name of this yet, and we're not going to announce it yet, but with our coins and our blockchain, what types of utilities are we going to be able to venture into, or we want to venture into? And understanding, everybody, the stored value coin is not a utility coin. Utility coin is more like, I gave you an apple, you gave me a coin. Like, it's being used. And I can tell you one, if you can see this beautiful background I have right here, we are going to be able to have you going on trips that you paid for with your coins that your nodes produced. Making a video of that and saying, I got this through My Millionaire Mastery as a benefit of helping to make the entire thing secure. So I'd like you to talk about how we're going to be venturing with other partners coming into our blockchain. Vision's much bigger than just what people will be able to buy things inside Savings Highway with coins. But even outside of that, what vision do you have, Tom?
This this unique community that you have built has proven that it can work in the fiat money world. Fiat meaning today's paper money, today's coin money. Okay. So how you use it today, like, can it be done as a coin? And the answer is immediately yes. So let's start with what you already know. Every program that you guys participate in, every event, every transaction, it all can be done with a coin and not just a fiat piece of paper, right? So we're not going to change the programs, because all we're going to change is, or add, not change, add a method for which we can settle, transact, perpetuate each program, each transaction, each event. So that's going to be the fundamental foundation of it. On top of that, we start thinking about it now. Remember, so just so you know, a blockchain is decentralized. Okay, node owners get to vote on what we do. So as stewards of the blockchain, we present different programs and different ideas, and we say, I need you guys to vote and tell us which of these things do you want to do. That's a great benefit of a node owner, because you get to vote on how the blockchain operates, how it evolves. We're stewards. We're going to bring more ideas. We're going to bring more innovation. We're going to bring opportunities to the blockchain, and we're going to tell you why we think it's great, but you vote on it. So I didn't want to miss out on the fact that the second answer to, we're not going to change how you do things today with fiat. We're going to give you an additional option of how to manage those programs. But on top of that, as a node owner, you get to decide, you get to vote on the next innovation, on the next program, on the next everything. And so when Steve asked me, what other things am I envisioning? I'm envisioning a lot of stuff, but you guys have to vote on it, right? But I'll give you some, giving you some thoughts. If we, as we're on this mission to help ourselves step into wealth generation, and that is the bottom line. I want to step out of struggle and into success. And I want to be able to do that in a way that allows me to participate now. Not when I have a minimum of $1 million in my account before my financial institution takes me seriously. I want to be able to do it now. I want to be early in the game. Okay. So we will bring you ideas and programs that put you in that position. One of those ideas is what I said earlier. You can tokenize anything in the real world. So it's called real world assets. And there are ways and programs that the team that is stewarding this along will take a look at. What can we tokenize that would be greatly beneficial to our community? Not saying that this is one of those ideas, but not saying that I've not thought this all the way through yet. So just stick with me for a moment. There are a lot of people that understand real estate investment. They understand it really well. And there are also hurdles that you have to jump over in order to participate in real estate investment that will get you returns that will make you happy. For instance, if you wanted some really major returns on investment properties, you have to, whether we like it or not, there's still a minimum spend to get that piece of property up to a standard that will get us returns on it, right? What if we brought you an organization that has tokenized tons of real estate properties and they have management teams in place to bring that up, and you could buy into that token? You can use your token and your coins to buy into that real estate investment because they've tokenized it. That's what's called a real world asset. If we can figure out how to bring more of those things into our blockchain, it provides you, the person who has generated so many rewards and tokens and coins because of your node, to exchange that for participation in that real world asset, real estate thing. So,
And Ton, let me interject right there. So if I'm getting it right, what's cool about this, I don't have to already have 100,000, 200, 500,000, $1 million in order to participate of my own money, because since it's tokenized, I could be buying a fraction of a percent of an investment.
yeah.
So I get to participate even if I don't have a lot of wealth already.
Correct. And it's tokens that your nodes own for you, or that your nodes generated for you.
Your nodes generated for you. And basically, I'm doing a good thing by helping keep everything secure by owning the node and doing the activities.
That's right.
We'll be able to earn, we'll have different ways for them to earn more coins as well, right? So
Yeah, well, logically, and again, just this is math, the more nodes you own, the more rewards you can generate because each node is operating and doing what it's supposed to do, generating, coins, tokens every day. So if I had one, that's great. Multiply that by 2, by 4, by 8, on and on. So it's that idea where you don't have to go out and buy, 1,000 nodes. You can still get nodes along the way, and they're still going to be generating rewards, and those rewards still have intrinsic value in this blockchain, which allows you to exchange them for some of these programs. Now your node earned you enough to buy a fraction of a real estate investment. Right. So again, so the idea that I keep going back to is, how do we elevate this community to not only get out of debt, but create wealth? And most people don't have the opportunity to create wealth because of the restrictions, the minimums that are required to. Everyone is told you can go flip a house. Yeah, but how much do I need?
Well, that's why one of the things in, the secrets of My Millionaire Mastery, mastering your millionaire mind, is understanding that there are opportunities out there that are available to you without you having to have that 100K or 200K or 500K.
Right. And as you participate and you get your returns, then it's the next one, and then it's the next one, and then all of a sudden you are in that position.
Mm-hmm.
But rarely are we given that opportunity at a certain level. That was the old economy. The old economy says, no, I need you to be here before I even crack the door open. Blockchain says no. Tokenization says no. You can own a fraction of it now, and then see what happens and let it grow, and then take that return and do it again. It's the opportunity to get returns that other people are getting, even if it's a fraction of the initial investment, right? I want you all to do your research. I can speak to what I have done, but I'm not licensed to tell you how to, manage your money or invest your money. I just know what I'm seeing, and I'm trying to replicate that in our blockchain so that it isn't exclusive only to the good old boys club from the previous economy. It should be available to everyone, and it can be, because of blockchain and tokenization, to everyone. And that's what we're providing.
Awesome. Could you talk a little bit about, the partners we have chosen after, wow, months and months and months of research, due diligence, just the guys who are behind helping us do all the technology side of this, a little bit about that so people have the confidence of, the credibility of what this has.
You can imagine if Steve is going to put anything in front of this community, it has to be thoroughly vetted. Much like any parent, you're not just going to feed your kid crap and hope that they're going to become, healthy, right? We went on a journey. We went on a journey of discovery. We went on a journey of learning. We discovered and we learned.
Absolutely. A lot.
A lot. But it was necessary because you don't want to deliver a B minus or C plus product to our community. You want an A plus right out the gate. So we finally found partners who are A plus blockchain people. And by that, I mean, first and foremost, they understand compliance. So our blockchain and our tokens and our digital rewards and our coin follows all compliance. We can't begin to tell you how important it is to make sure that a blockchain can be safe, but we have to make sure the blockchain is built in a way that it is safe for everyone to participate. And by doing so, that's why we participate, right? We're stepping right into it with you. We built it. We're going to eat our own dog food too. So we're going to do this too. These guys know compliance. That's the very first and most important thing when you're building anything like this, because it's going to be heavily regulated. It's going to have, policies, governments. Everyone is going to be looking at how your blockchain operates to make sure it is compliant. And we have that with this group. Secondly, the experience of building blockchains. And they're over 100 blockchains in experience, from the very simple to the very complicated. So and various industries, including real world assets, which again, I talked about earlier. Our partners can say, oh yeah, I've done that. And they can say it with confidence, and they can say it with evidence, right? It's so important when you're building a new technology that there's evidence. There's evidence of experience, there's evidence of knowledge, there's evidence of success. So compliance, experience, evidence of success, right? And the last thing that we love very much is ease of working with these guys.
Yeah.
They have turned around tasks, milestones well ahead of our timeline. And we're incredibly, first of all, we're incredibly excited that we actually get to have this conversation, because it's real, because it's built, it's there. There are wrappers that we still have to put around this thing so that it is A++ rated, right? We're just making sure that everything is lined up, looking good, ready to walk the red carpet, and you're all gonna be like, ooh. Well,
As one of my mentors said, when we're releasing this on a scale from 1 to 10, this is going to be an 11.
yeah. Yeah. So our partners are they're reliable, they're credible, and they're knowledgeable. And I couldn't say anything more than just, you want someone with those qualities that have shown you the evidence of those qualities to be building this thing with you. So we have that.
If I can add one thing that gets me excited in working with them, they have experience in the savings realm already. They've done a lot of things with savings and discounts programs and things that they have even said, we have partners we want to bring into your blockchain.
Right. Right. Yeah.
And they're passionate. The second part, they're passionate about our mission
Yeah.
to help families get out of debt.
Yeah.
I mean, without giving too much away, one of them, the whole reason that he wants to be a billionaire is because they're building hospitals and schools and churches and things like this in underdeveloped areas. That's their passion. So it's like we didn't just meet people who knew how to do it, but I feel we met people who have the moral compass and the integrity, the experience, the knowledge, and they also believe in our mission and want to support it.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
I love this statement. We get to participate in something early, but we're not going to present it to you without real, evidence, data, so that you can make a calculated decision on risk, right? So you feel there isn't anything that is completely removed. Like there's nothing that's 100% risk free, but our job is to ask the hard questions, do the homework, stay up late, make the mistakes before. So let us make the mistakes. But we went through all that and we found the right people. And when we sat down and we started to design this out, it was all I could see was I saw home base and we were just running the first. I'm like, no, I see home base right now because I already know what these guys are about. So that was my, excited moment. It is the ingredient that was necessary for us to be here and have this conversation, having the right partners.
That's true. Well, Tan, I want to thank you so much for your time tonight and your experience, and just I feel very honored to be a part of this project and be on the board. And I love the fact that I don't own this, you don't own this.
Mm-mm.
The node holders will own this.
Yeah,
we're here, like you said, to be a steward. It's like a guide or a someone to kind of affect. Here's what we believe is going to be beneficial to the community.
Mm-hmm.
And then the community says, we believe that or we don't believe that.
That's
and
right.
They have the actual control and they actually earn the money.
So everyone, please learn or Google the definition of decentralized blockchain, because it's going to tell you over and over again that the owners are those holding the nodes because they get to vote on how the blockchain evolves. There isn't one entity. There are thousands. Everyone that's a node is operating, managing, and validating the blockchain. Without them, the blockchain doesn't operate, doesn't work. So each one of those nodes is a vote. That's who decides what happens with blockchain. It's not owned by myself or Steve or Omar, but what it is a environment, a technology that we can bring into our community because it is what we endearingly call in blockchain digital financial freedom. Yeah.
But this is the thing, folks. As Tan said, our deadlines are being exceeded by our technology partners. And I really feel that God's got his hand on this because, I said, how do we help 1 million families get out of debt? These are the types of things I had no clue about. And now here I am on the board of this new blockchain that can really revolutionize our lives. Mm-hmm. So it's very, very good. Everybody give a nice round of applause for Tan. Thank you so much, my brother. We will talk soon. God bless.
Yeah, thank you guys. Have a great evening, everyone.
I'm leaving the
Appreciate
darkness
you.
behind. I'm mastering my millionaire mind. From the ashes, I'm born to shine. Yeah, I'm mastering my millionaire mind. Oh, I won't crawl again, rising up from where I've been. Freedom's calling, the hard turns I find. I'm mastering my millionaire mind. Used to wake up choking on fear, stacking bills and wiping tears. Drank my hope from a paper cup, but life kept bleeding, never enough. Dreams on layaway, heart in chains. Every smile hit blood and pain. Then a whisper hit like a kick drum loud. You can rise above the crowd. Every storm was fuel for the flame. Every loss to sharpen my aim. Now the walls that held me start to shake. I found the power no one can take. I'm leaving the darkness behind. I'm mastering my millionaire mind. Cut the cords from the past that bind. Yeah, I'm mastering my millionaire mind. I'm mastering my millionaire mind. Of the heart that made me strong, the pain that won't fall slow. When you're mastering my millionaire mind. Yeah, I'm mastering my millionaire mind. There's a hurt that made me strong, a pain that wrote my favorite song. When you've lost it all,